Go.
Welcome to Bob's Wood Shop. Equipment that you need for doing the frames. Of course, frames. I've got a couple different types of strap clamps here. They're all too much strap clamp. Get a cheap one at Harbor Freight, like this one. Next, you're going to use 5/8" nails, like this. That's just the easiest, because the nails are just holding it together until the glue dries. And you get those in your nailer. And then don't forget, I don't know if the people will tell you or not, one bottle of this oil will last you the lifetime of the nailer, most likely. You put about 4 or 5 drips into that before you put the hose on, and it just keeps the inside seals lubricated. And the type that you have, if I remember the one I gave you, it was the DeWalt, and it'll need that oil. You'll need to have a random orbital sander or some type of hand sander. Sand the inside first before you do anything, just to have a smooth inside. Next, we're going to go ahead and put this into the frame. With the dado up, you go ahead, you get now we're working with the really small pieces. It's much more difficult with the big ones. But you get this thing pretty much ready to go, dry, no glue in it yet. And I probably should have loosened it up just a hair more. There. The thing is, and I hope your mom can get this, she's our cameraman, by the way. What I'm doing is trying to get these little layers to line up so you get as close to square as possible. Then, once it's in, the way that you normally do it is this is loose. You tighten this up as tight as your hand tightening will do, like I did right here, and then you tighten it up with the knob. And that puts your final tightening on it. Once that's done, you're doing this to get the measurement for the face that you're going to put in. So you go in here like this and measure. This was about 11 3/4. I cheated and kind of just cut it quickly so that I wouldn't have to mess around too much. The other thing you do is go from corner to corner to check square. Now on this I'm reading about 17 3/8. Then you check the other diagonal. That's running at about 17 3/8. That tells you it's primarily square. Once you have your distance, your width, and your height, then you'll cut your MDF. This is what I used for all your last ones, and let's see if you can come in on that. That's from Home Depot. That's exactly what it is. It's 1/4 inch MDF. And I forget how much these cost, but it came, I think, in a 48 by 24 sheet. And you can actually buy them in 4x8s. Once you've got that, then you put this thing in here. This is what ends up squaring up the whole frame. You just check that. Now we're ready to put the thing together. First thing you do is loosen that up just a little bit so you can pull out 2 of these. Pull out the 2 upper ones. You get a little bit of glue here. Now I told you about glue the other day. Just plain old yellow glue is going to be what you're going to be using. And this might not be flowing all that well, so we'll pretend I put glue here. And you slather the glue. I usually always do this with it, and then just put it in here. Same thing with the other piece. I don't know why I go to all the trouble to do this and I don't have glue coming out. The thing's plugged right now. So do the same thing with this piece again. You run the thing together, and of course it looks a lot easier than it ends up being. And again, got it in there as far as you can get this to tighten. These are kind of cheesy clamps, but they work really well for this job. Get that set up, get that leveled, and that was part of my problem. That was way out of whack. Tighten this up, and then you're going to take your nailer. Now, you want to kind of get in. You notice that you don't have a lot of room to work, so get this running on the inside. That's your safety, and keep your hand away from it. This is barely probably going to make it. I think these are a little narrower than the ones I sent you. This is just a test. There's one. Then you come over here. Again, don't put your hand down in that area. There's two. Not bad. Same thing here. 3. And then fourth one. And you noticed I was lucky, nothing came out. Once that's set in the clamp, well, this is way out of whack, but sorry about that. Once this comes out, then you can take it out of the clamp and finish nailing it the rest of the way. I would put a nail here, one here, so that on all areas we've got it. We've got 2 nails in it, upper and lower, and then that would be preferably everything was made up. Now you can wait for them to dry, and as you can see, I didn't glue them, so they look a little sloppy. But then you'll run a bead of glue in this. You'll put your MDF in there like that, and it's trying to stay as close to these edges. Just go ahead and do 1, 2. You basically just want it in there enough to hold it in there until the glue sets up and you're finished. And I think you've probably even seen in a couple of the ones I've sent you where I missed the spot, and we've even had nails showing up like that on the inside. That's because I cut this just a little small. Then put fill in it, let the fill dry, set it aside, you're ready to do the next one. Then when the fill has all dried, all your holes, everything else, then you sand it with the sander, and then they're just like the ones I end up sending to you, except they look a little better than this. So that's about it. It's that simple, that's straightforward.
You need to put fill in the in the sides too.
Yeah, don't forget the fill where we have nail holes here. That's a big help. But
and then sand that too.
Once it's clamped, this is the problem what happens here when you don't square it up initially. You get that kind of corner. So make sure you've got that set before you start nailing.
But you can't sand that edge off.
No, not really easily. You could grind it away, but other than that, that's how you make them. I'll send this thing out here in the next hour or two, and then you've got how you do it. Hopefully it's helpful. Call me if it has been, or if it hasn't been, lie to me and tell me how great a job I did. Okay, love you, bye.